So, Seasmoke and Drogon do have quite a few things in common. They are both male dragons, they are of the same stock or breed, and both of them are fast and powerful. But what about size? Which dragon here is bigger? Or are they of a similar size? Well, here in this video we will take a look at snapshots of Seasmoke from the latest episode and showcase how big he has grown since the first season. And yeah, of course we will compare him to none other than Drogon from Game of Thrones. So let's get to it. Seasmoke is the pale grey dragon that was first seen in the first season diving from the skies along with melees when the Valyrian fleet arrived in King's Landing. He was claimed firstly by Laenor Velaryon, the son of Princess Rhaenys Targaryen, also called the Queen Who Never Was. In Season 1, this dragon, along with his rider, participated along with the forces led by Daemon Targaryen on Caraxes against the Triarchy in the battle or the War for the Stepstones. Here he was a dragon of fighting age and not fully grown, around the size of Season 6 Drogon from Game of Thrones, with an estimated length of around 80 feet or 24 meters long. Sadly, in Season 2, the rider Laenor Velaryon died off-screen, which led Seasmoke to choose Adam of Hull as his new rider. As to how this was possible, we did a video on this one, so do check it out. In the last episode, Seasmoke was shown to be bigger and more formidable than before, and so before we estimate his size from snapshots taken from that episode, we should first take a look at how big Drogon was in the last seasons of Game of Thrones, and then do a comparison. Of course, the image that allows us to properly assess Drogon's size is the famous one of his head next to Jon Snow. Kit Harington here is 5 feet 8 inches tall, or around 172 centimeters. If we take a scale and put it close to Jon Snow, and then with the same one superimposed it next to Drogon's head, we get a head size for the dragon which is a bit more than 6 feet long, or 183 centimeters. Then for Drogon's full body length, we would take an image of the beast that shows his entire body, his entire design. So here, if we adjust the scale to fit in with the predetermined size of the head, and then extrapolate, we get a dragon that is 120 feet long, or 36.5 meters. But since the tail is a bit curved at the end due to movement, we can add a couple of meters there to even it out, meaning that the total body length of Drogon is maybe 126 or 127 feet, or 38.5 meters long. So now going to Seasmoke, the dragon is now bonded to Adam of Hull, who is a bastard son of the sea snake Lord Corlys Velaryon. So we should do the same thing and assess the size of his head first, excluding the horns, then we shall take the neck, and lastly the entire body length. The scene of Darklyn trying to claim Seasmoke in the beginning of the last episode is the best, as we have the head of the dragon on the same plane as the dragon keepers and the would-be barbecued knight. In this first image, we do the same thing with the scale. We put it there and then we get a measurement of Seasmoke having a head that is 5 feet or 150 centimeters long. In a couple of other scenes, we get a similar measurement. Next, in the other snapshot of the dragon next to Darklyn, we can easily measure his neck along with his head, and it comes to around 20 feet or 6.1 meters long. Right, so now we have to take an image of Seasmoke flying in the sky with his entire body visible for measuring, similar to how we did it for Drogon. The image here taken is from the moment when Seasmoke arrived in Spice Town to claim Adam as his new rider in the last episode. If we do the same thing with the scale and adjust it to the head and then extrapolate it for the entire body, we get a pale grey dragon that measures 36.5 meters or 120 feet long, the same as Drogon, maybe a couple of meters shy, but roughly in the same size scale. To double check it, we did the same thing with an image taken from episode 7 preview, and we get a similar size for the dragon, although here Seasmoke's body is on the ground with a more body and tail curvature due to his posture. But the result is the same. Drogon and Seasmoke have a similar measurement, a similar body length. But why does Drogon still seem to appear bigger than Seasmoke? Well, the answer here is all about differing body dimensions. To begin with, Drogon has a head bigger than that of Seasmoke, with Drogon's 6 feet long head versus Seasmoke's 5 feet long head, 1 feet difference. Then when we take a closer look, the neck of Drogon is also a bit longer as well as being more robustly built. But the fact that they are of a similar length is due to Seasmoke having a longer tail measuring around 75 feet long, while Drogon has a tail below 70 feet long. The body size of Seasmoke also seems to be more compact and of a smaller build than that of Drogon, which is seen to be bigger and more muscular, which would mean that Drogon has an overall bigger build and volume than the pale grey dragon. Lastly, Drogon's legs are just massive and impressive, while Seasmoke only have adequately sized legs. They're not really unimpressive, but they are adequate. So the only metric in which they both have the same measurement is length, but the size difference isn't that noticeable. Not like the difference between Meleys and Sunfire, or even between Vhagar and Meleys. It's more of like a comparison between Rhaegal and Drogon. Now, after the death of Princess Rhaenys and the Red Queen Meleys, as of the latest episode, Seasmoke would be the second largest dragon owned by the Black faction, bigger than even Cyrax and the other smaller dragons, yet smaller than Caraxes. And this ranking would obviously change when Vermithor, Sheepstealer and Silverwing are claimed in the next episodes. And also, if you have ever wondered if Drogon would stand a chance against Vermithor or Vhagar, then just imagine Seasmoke being the Black Dragon, and the future events of the show would tell it all. No spoilers, but there will be other dragon fights. So if you like this video, then watch this other one as well, and do check out our channel for other monster and dragon content. We might just have things you haven't seen before. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.